Don't you tell me not to care.
Don't you tell me not to care.
That's my brother over there.
That's my brother over there.
That's my sister over there.
That's my sister over there.
Sound off.
1, 2,
Sound off.
3, 4.
Bring 'em all home.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Goodbye, Америка, где не был никогда. Прощай навсегда. Возьми банджо, сыграй мне на прощанье.
It has long been my belief that if we got all of the soldiers together, there would be no more war. When I got a call from Tom Birch to be part of the delegation of American veterans to tour the Soviet Union, it came as an answer to a lifelong dream. In the spirit of brotherhood, we met with the Soviet veterans to share our experiences and to find ways to mutually assist each other.
In a dark cell or a bamboo cage, Americans wait. Prisoners of war, their only crime serving their country to promote freedom in this world. Yet, they are not free. Some have waited more than 40 years. We want them home. We want them home now.
There were no strings attached. They were there to offer support to Soviet veterans in exchange for assistance from the Soviet government in securing the release of prisoners of war from World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. The members of the American delegation representing 400,000 veterans worldwide included Tom Birch, 5th Special Forces Vietnam, Chairman of the National Vietnam Veterans Coalition, Delegation Chairman. Tony Diamond, Korean War veteran and USO entertainer in Vietnam, Executive Director of Bravo and veteran organizer. Lamont Gaston, 3rd Marine Division, Vietnam, President of Vietnow and veteran organization consultant. The Reverend John Steer, 173rd Airborne, Vietnam, addiction specialist. Bill Bennett, 1st Cavalry, Vietnam, General Secretary to the National Vietnam Veterans Coalition, Delegation Advisor and Translator. John Snyder, 1st Logistical Command, Vietnam, Small Business Advisor. Mike Van Atta, Ranger, Vietnam, Prisoner of War expert. Psychologist Victor DeFazio, U.S. Army, Vietnam, Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder Specialist. Cheryl Ann Smith, 1st Marine Division, Vietnam, videographer and director of Bravo Television. Dr. Lonnie Rex, president of the David Livingston Foundation, international food and medical assistance specialist. The Soviet host to the American delegation was Mikhail Goryunov, who served as a corporal in the Afghanistan War. It was his invitation to the delegation that made the following events possible.
David Kennedy Center.
Okay, we have 100 senators, and 10 of them are Vietnam veterans. And
10 из сенаторов — это ветераны Вьетнама.
And in the House of Representatives,
И в
435
Палате представителей
Chlenov, and
45,
about maybe
значит,
30 of those are Vietnam
45
veterans.
ветеранов Вьетнама, и еще в Конгрессе около 30.
In the Bush administration of very high appointees, we have about 15.
И даже очень в администрации Буша на очень высоких постах около 15 ветеранов Вьетнама.
And one of our goals is to put our people in positions of power.
Is that his goal also?
А у вас тут тоже такая же цель, значит?
Да.
Yes,
Yes,
the
yes.
goal is quite
Yes,
the same.
same.
Это точно, что никогда
Сегодня
and it
это
unites us.
дело борьбы за достижение мира
Yes, we are
за
fighting together
достижение
for peace,
добра.
for friendship. Это значит, и одна из целей, чтобы привлечь внимание. Now it's on the human level,
Yes,
not on the
yes,
political.
yes,
When we
yes,
says that one or we are not the enemies. We are trying to become friends. Yura says. We remember the meeting at Elba. The Elba, yes.
Да, и в плане того, что
Yes, in Sverdlovsk there will be a meeting with soldiers who fought in Vietnam.
насколько она будет тактичная, эта
Yes.
встреча, то есть
But
ихние отношения к
yes,
этому.
what's your
Good.
attitude? Is it?
Very
What do you
positive.
think?
We would like that. We love that. We would
Им-
like that.
Они бы,
Very
так сказать, были
positive.
не против, а даже наоборот.
We had met the Soviet Afghani vets, and as we discussed our political systems, in the back of my mind was the future meeting of the Soviet Vietnam veteran, our former adversaries. How would we accept them? How would they accept us?
The chairman of the all ministers, Ryzhkov, is working here, and he has come from Sverdlovsk. He has worked and lived in Sverdlovsk, the same as Yeltsin. Yeltsin, the president of our Russia Republic, also was, yes, began in Sverdlovsk, yes.
I guess the key city and the key, city for rising to prominence used to be Gorky, and now it's Sverdlovsk.
Yes, да.
Кстати, у них
Говорит, что
тоже
это
так же
важно.
много военных в
Где?
парламентах партий.
And are your military men active in political life? You have seen many generals in our party, Communist Party.
Yes.
It's the same in your country.
They don't
Нет,
allow
No,
нет.
it's total separation. of
Это у них
military.
строгое разделение.
We were the first Americans permitted in Sverdlovsk in the Urals, a region closed even to Russians since 1932.
We have already told you that it is very difficult for a foreigner to go to Sverdlovsk because it is a closed city.
Но благодаря тому, что и Верховный Совет любит город Свердловск, и Михаил обладает большой пробойной силой.
But you know that Afghanistan veterans can do even impossible things. Sverdlovsk has a famous history.
До революции назывался город Екатеринбург.
Before the revolution, it has another title. It was called after the wife of Peter I. It was called Yekaterinburg. And maybe you know that the last Tsar of Russia was killed there in Sverdlovsk.
We were met by the deputy mayor of Sverdlovsk, where we learned the cost of freedom of speech.
I'm quite excited. For 28 years, I was a member of the anti-aircraft forces. And for all those long years, I studied the would-be enemy. On the 1st of September 1983, our interceptors shot down a Korean airliner. 160 civilians perished. I expressed my discontent and disagreement to my commanding officer. He told me that they were just carrying out orders. I told him that the American Lieutenant Calley was just carrying out his orders in Song Mi, and his deed was condemned by the Americans. Why should our moral values be any different? For the mere comparison of this situation, I was expelled from the party, deprived of my rank, and sent to the North Pole. That was 1983. Today, thanks to Glasnost, I'm free to speak my mind. And indeed, I'm even a member of the city council. These changes are great, and they are real. And that's why I'm so excited that I can be here today to speak with you. Oh, just one more thing. Our country is faced with great problems. Many of our civilians have lost hope for freedom and democracy, and indeed are leaving their mother country in search of happiness. Your visit here has renewed our hope.
Any war leaves a scar on one's soul. The question, would the Soviet Afghanistan war veterans be able to forget this unpopular war any more than the veterans of Vietnam? Our host, Mikhail Goryanov, was a corporal in the Afghanistan war. In his office, he told us about one of his friends.
One of my best friends was the first hero of the Soviet Union in the Afghanistan war. He was surrounded by the Mujahideen and he was wounded very seriously. He had no weapon, so he took a grenade and dove into the enemy, killing the Mujahideen and himself with it. Here is the soil from his grave. I cannot ever forget him.
Ушли, радость душить солдата, мои спокойные сны. Живыми приходят ребята, и наш ни о чем разговор, и небо чужое простор. Братан, вашей жизни костер, не видим и тих до сих пор, и снова во сне я бегу. Хриплю, но опять не успею, тебя донесу, но беду, беду отвести не сумею, и твой затухающий взор, и глаз материнских укор. Афган — это слово в упор, стреляет в меня до сих пор. Ну здравствуй, принес я цветы, и страшное сердце усталость. Под этой плитою спишь ты, и пуля, что мне назначалась, и наш неоконченный спор, и ласковый струн перебор. Афган — это звук до сих пор. Я слышу, как выстрел в упор. Ты знаешь, они говорят, ну, в общем, что ты здесь напрасно, что это ошибка и зря. Под пули мы шли ежечасно, что это державы позор. Кто был там убийца или вор? Афган — это слово в упор, стреляет в тебя до сих пор. И Родина дарит нам вновь простор тупиков равнодушья и души, разбитые в кровь, и сытые морды чинушьи, и чудится пальцу затвор. Рывок на себя под упор. Афган — эхо горькое гор, грохочет во мне до сих пор. Уж кажется, годы прошли, и сердце могло бы смириться, но лица далекой земли такие знакомые лица. Хорошая вещь.
How old is this church?
Сколько лет церкви?
С 1862 года.
1862.
You have people coming here every day. You said earlier it's becoming a museum now?
No, it's not a museum, it's active. How
But the
do I
church
say?
is active.
The church is active, is that right? Yes.
Yeah,
Это
yeah.
действующее, да?
The only one in the town, so it's always crowded. Overcrowded.
Russian Orthodox, I guess, huh?
Orthodox church, yes.
Yes, Orthodox.
An Orthodox one.
Остальные сохранившиеся церкви именно как музеи
Well,
работают.
the rest churches are working as museums. You see now many young people
This is a wedding?
have wedding, yes, in the church. Это американцы.
здесь сейчас, понимаешь, получается монополия. То есть это не законодательный орган, а распределительный указатель.
Now many children are baptized. It was, well, it was not a custom some years ago even. But now they go there to baptize.
And now they have baptisms and all of the other religious sacraments.
Yes.
People getting married.
Yes.
It's good.
The weather's wonderful. I'm sorry.
Значит, скажи, что мы находимся... Мы все тут разошли. Как-то сказать сюда вместе, together.
Come here, please, all of you. А, они хотят сфотографироваться.
Ага, да, видишь.
Gorka! 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 Yes.
It was a speech.
Духа, аминь, креститесь. Обручается раб Божий Александр, рабы Божьей Тамаре во имя Отца и Сына Святого Духа, аминь. Маленький мизинец. Обручается раба Божья Тамара, раб Божий Александр во имя Отца и Сына Святого Духа, аминь. Обручается раба Божья Тамара, раб Божий Александр во имя Отца и Сына Святого Духа, аминь. У меня, например, бумаги от него нет никакой. Я имею полное право запретить. Господу помолимся. Господи, Боже нашего друга Полярка, Авраама, путешествуй среди речи, посылай его невесте, Господину ее Исааку жену. Яко ты иси благословляй, освящай всяческое, Боже наш тебе славу посылаем. Отцу и Сыну и Святому Духу, ныне и присно и во веки веков. Помилуй нас, Боже, по велице милости Твоей, молим Тебя, услыши и помилуй. Еще молимся о великом Господине, Отце нашей, святейшем Патриархе, Алексии, Господине нашем, высокопреосвященнейшем архиепископе Мелхиседеке, и все во Христе братья наши.
Reverend John Steer was with the 173rd Airborne in Vietnam, where he lost his arm during the Battle of Dak To. Since then, he has dedicated his life to helping veterans and their families.
I've come here from the United States
Он приехал из Соединенных Штатов Америки.
to encourage peace between our nations and to recognize our veterans,
И чтобы наши ветераны войны были признаны во
to
всех
give
странах.
respect to the Russian soldiers,
Чтобы почтить память русских солдат.
and to work with the Afghan soldiers.
И чтобы работать с солдатами в
Are
Афганистане.
you a World War II veteran?
Вы были на войне? Yes, he
Your
was.
leg?
Yes, he lost his leg in the
God
war.
bless you.
Да
Wait a minute,
спасет
hold
вас
that.
Бог.
Hold it.
Thank you.
Okay. Maybe-
Thank you. And they say you should be also share peace.
God
And
bless
God
you.
bless you.
God bless you, my dear.
God bless you. Thank you. Can I give it to this lady?
Yes, yes.
Это тоже, это ветеран, значок, это американский флаг, американский флаг.
Bless
Это
you.
спасет вас Бог.
John Steer, and I'm a
Джон
minister,
Стиер,
and I'm a minister of the gospel,
он возглавляет госпиталь, так же, как и
and I'm
вы.
an addiction specialist.
Он специалист по приспособлению после
And
войны.
I built a place in
Он построил
Arkansas
место,
where I take in veterans and their families.
где у него живут ветераны и его семьи после возвращения из
Substance
войны.
abuse, suicidal.
Это прекрасное место на берегу реки.
Это что-то типа отдельной колонии? Садитесь.
И мне легче работать стоя.
Это что-то типа отдельной
He
колонии?
says it's a kind of special place or a colony, what he calls. Да?
Yes.
Да. Да.
We don't charge the veterans or their families
Они не
anything.
берут никакие деньги, это бесплатно. Все ни с ветеранов, ни с их семьи.
If we can help them and if they're willing to help themselves, they can stay up to 9 months.
Если они хотят помочь сами себе, если мы им можем помочь, и они хотят остаться, то они могут до 8 месяцев остаться.
If they don't try to help themselves,
Если они не хотят себе
after 2-3
помогать,
weeks,
после
we tell them to
2-3 недель, то они их выгоняют. How many beds have you got in your, or how many rooms?
we can take in about 30 people.
Около 30 сразу могут взять.
It's a private enterprise.
Это личное, это его частное
We hope to
предпринимательство.
get to 100 beds eventually.
Он надеется, что скоро у него будет 100.
And it's my vision to be a prototype where maybe other people in other states will start building something similar to help the
Да,
veterans
он
and their
надеется,
families.
что это будет прототип, где другие штаты начнут строить что-то
Это
подобное.
только участники Вьетнамской войны, да?
Is it only for veterans of war in Vietnam?
No, we're
Нет.
taking all veterans.
Всех ветеранов.
Mostly I work with Vietnam veterans.
В основном ветераны,
But we
но
take in
нет.
all veterans.
Есть ли участники Отечественной войны, да?
Если, have you got the participants of the Second World War?
Oh yes,
Да,
World War
да.
II pilots I had there recently.
Пилоты, летчики
I
Второй
have a
войны.
Korean veteran there now
Ветеранов войны
that
в
has been in
Корее.
prison for 23
Люди,
years.
которые были в тюрьме по 23 года.
He get out, he has no place to
У
go.
них нет вообще негде жить, и они
То
живут
есть у них
здесь.
нет своего места жительства.
They have no place to live, no dwelling whatsoever. Нет.
The main aim of the American Vietnam veterans is to share their experience, to show how to organize the things, how to solve the problems.
So these boys are from after Afghan war. They are all veterans. Это ребята участники войны во Вьетнаме, американцы.
Tell them welcome home.
So, добро пожаловать домой, вам говорят они. Это участники войны во Вьетнаме.
Когда воюешь на чужой земле.
He says the most awful thing when you should just fight not on your land, on a foreign land. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't have war on the foreign land.
When I came back from Vietnam, I lost many friends. I killed many of the enemy.
И он убил очень много врагов.
I had trouble going to sleep at night. People came up to me in my own country and told me I was stupid for fighting in Vietnam. I believed the cause in Vietnam was a noble cause. So I had to suffer for their mistakes. So I felt guilty because I was alive.
И он чувствовал себя виноватым, потому что он
My friends were
был
dead.
обманут, его друзья мертвы.
I went to the Veterans Hospital.
Он пошел в больницу для ветеранов,
They gave me
госпиталь.
pills.
Они дали ему
They gave me
пилюли,
more pills.
и еще
They
пилюли,
gave me more pills.
и еще пилюли.
I walked around like this.
И он выходил как пьяный, он не мог ходить.
You know? That was not the answer.
Но это был не ответ.
I lied to myself
Я лгал сам себе,
because of the cause was noble, I believe.
потому что он верил, что дело-то было правильное, праведное.
But I was not a perfect soldier
Но он был не самый отличный солдат,
because there is no perfect soldier.
потому что нет, в общем-то,
I
отличных.
did things I'm proud of, including killing the enemy. To be honest with myself, I also did things I'm ashamed of. I had to learn to be honest with myself.
И я должен быть честным сам с собой.
For a long time, I just said I didn't do anything wrong. I believe the cause was right, but I did do some things
Но
wrong.
я все-таки делал что-то
And I
неправильно.
had to face that in myself. I prayed 10,000 times, God forgive me my sin.
Я молился много раз и просил Бога простить меня.
I know now he did the first time I prayed. 17 years ago, 6 years after I had fought in Vietnam, I believed on the Lord Jesus Christ.
Я поверил Иисусу Христу.
I asked him to forgive me my sin.
И я попросил Его простить меня.
Then I believed that.
И тогда я поверил.
And I forgave myself.
И я простил сам себя.
Now I can live with myself.
А сейчас он может жить в мире сам с
Now I
собой.
can help other brothers.
И он сейчас хочет помогать другим
And
братьям.
I can help their families.
Трудно было.
It was very difficult to adjust to the life, to readjust to this life. And in their group, it was much easier.
Голова не так болела.
They had common problems and they didn't have lots of headache. And it was simpler.
Тоже проблемы.
Now they have lots of problems
Сейчас
also.
правительство относится к нам как-то
But
по-другому.
nowadays the government treats us differently, in a different way.
Оказывается медицинскую помощь.
They give medical supply, and it's a bit better
И мы
now.
со своей стороны благодарим
And
вас,
on our side, we are grateful to you that you took care and came here,
и сказали,
and you want, and
даже ваше присутствие тоже нас
just your sheer presence and your warm words are very
и у нас
good for us. We are just soldiers, and we speak the same language,
с разных материков.
even if we are from different lands.
Когда умолкнут все песни, которых я не знаю. В терпком воздухе крикнет последний мой бумажный пароход. Goodbye, Америка, где не был никогда. Прощай навсегда. Возьми банджо, сыграй мне на прощанье.
Without a shot being fired, the members of the delegation of the National Vietnam Veterans Coalition captured a Soviet tank, a Soyuz jet, and the hearts of the people of Sverdlovsk.